Hello, Sergio. How are you? Can you hear me?
Yes, sorry. Hi, Cesar. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Oh, it's everything all right. All right.
It's Friday, so
Yeah, it's fine.
it has to be okay. How was your week?
Was normal, ah, todo normal, todo regular. Nada nuevo.
Anything new?
Anything new?
Okay. Is it cold where you are?
No, today not. Today it's very sunny.
Really?
Yeah. Cochabamba, oh, well, not always, but it's very common. The weather it's sunny. It's a beautiful place.
I hear that. I hear that Cochabamba is a nice place to live.
Oh yeah, the food is the best in all my country.
In Cochabamba.
Yeah, because it's so cheap and delicious.
That's a good combo, right?
Oh yeah, in
Cheap
other,
and delicious.
yeah, delicious.
Okay. Give me just a second, okay?
No problem.
Okay. So let's see. Let me see if I can start Zoom. I'm sorry, YouTube, because I need to record in YouTube too. It's cold where I am. It's always cold. Yesterday it was, I believe it was like 5 degrees Celsius.
Oh, it's very cold.
Oh yes, and even my dogs, they came to the room because they wanted to be in the heater. They wanted some warmth, tenía el calefactor. So they were lying next to it.
You live in Mexico City, right?
Close to Mexico City. Close. They came to the close to Mexico City. It's Mexico is a little bit weird. In the middle is what we call Ciudad de México. Y dentro de ese estadito, que es una cosita, está el Estado de México. ¿Sí me explico? Ciudad de México, Estado de México.
Oh,
Entonces yo vivo en el Estado de México, pero la Ciudad de México está como a 1 hora de aquí. Y en la parte donde nosotros vivimos es una de las partes más altas, entonces hace frío. And that's every day. And it rains all the time. Nada más que ahorita no ha llovido, ¿verdad? Pero usually it rains for days, every day, like 3 times a day.
About safety, your country or your state is
no. It's bad.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Why?
it's bad. Well, let me tell you something about Mexico. But I want to say it in between Spanish and English. Let me know if you don't understand something, okay?
Perfect.
When the Spanish came, they arrived in Veracruz. Gulf, Mexico Gulf. That's Veracruz. And I believe before that, they arrived en Yucatán, en la península donde yo vivía, cerca de Cancún. They didn't like Cancun or the peninsula because there was nothing. It's hot, warm, mosquitoes. So they didn't like it. So they tried new routes. When they arrived into Mexico City, of course, they found a big civilization and stuff like that. But sabemos que los españoles no eran amigos.
Para nada.
Ya venían cruzados con tradiciones malignas, ¿no? Ya se habían cruzado con romanos, con eslavos, ya se habían cruzado con vikingos, incluso la última cruza fue con árabes, que eran saqueadores. So at some point they had that belief. Pero ¿qué crees? Los aztecas eran iguales.
Oh,
¿Sí me explico? Los aztecas eran iguales que los españoles. Eran personas que vivían explotando a otras personas. Y como que ciertas tradiciones aún no cambian. Te lo voy a comentar. Aquí donde yo soy del norte, es muy diferente. Pero aquí es muy normal, si yo te pido dinero prestado, nunca te lo regreso. O
debe ser.
si eres mi vecino y si tú dejas una bicicleta, si tú no te das cuenta, yo me la llevo. Y si nunca te dices cuenta, quién sabe quién fue. Y te puedo decir más. ¿Sí me explico?
Yeah.
Son tradiciones muy viejas, pero nada de que estar orgulloso. ¿Sí me explico? Entonces, desafortunadamente así es. Aquí no todos, pero así la cultura es de esa forma. Siempre tratar de extorsionarte, tratar de sacar algo de tu prójimo. Donde yo vivo es una comunidad cerrada y usualmente los que vivimos aquí somos de fuera del centro de México. Nosotros pagamos nuestra seguridad, etcétera, y todo eso. Entonces, como que sí estamos un poco aislados de lo que ocurre afuera. Y estamos contentos hasta cierto punto. Pero he vivido lo suficiente aquí en esta parte para darme cuenta que no debo de confiar en nadie. Y eso es triste, ¿no?
Yeah, sí, realmente.
That's sad. That's very sad. Oh, me han hecho de todas cosas, amigo. De todo me han hecho. Ujú. De todo. Que tal vez digas, bueno, pues también acá en Bolivia hay de esas cosas. Maybe, maybe. Pero es muy marcado aquí en el centro de México de esa forma. Te voy a contar una historia, una anécdota. Y no es echar de cabeza, pero son de esas cosas que, bueno, tú te sorprendes y dices, bueno, como que tiene sentido. Estoy hablando del 2008, cuando yo estaba terminando la escuela, la universidad, y estábamos en la parte de capstone, de proyectos, así como tú ahorita ya vas a entrar, ¿no?
Yeah.
And it was groups of three engineers, and do your project. Y nosotros nos pusimos con un grupo, etcétera, y trabajamos. Total. Pero pues tenía amigos por todos lados. Un grupo en particular, tres compañeros. Recuerdo que era una persona creo que era de otro estado de México y uno nacido en Estados Unidos, mexicano, y otro que era de aquí de Toluca. Pero yo no sabía que era de Toluca, de aquí de donde yo soy, donde yo vivo, perdón, hasta después, muchos años después me di cuenta. Entonces, esos tres muchachos, me acuerdo que compartíamos información, nos dábamos updates and stuff like that. Entonces, la escuela te daba un fondo para que you would source what you needed, buy it, but they would give you only like $300. If you needed more money for your project, pues ya tenías que tú buscar la forma de sacar dinero, ¿no? Entonces, ellos, con el tipo de proyecto que hicieron, pues necesitaban más dinero, ¿no? Cuando, obviamente esta persona, el de aquí, de donde yo vivo ahorita, dijo, no, pues yo compro los materiales, ustedes denme el dinero. ¿Cuánto? No, pues $150 cada quien adicional, está bien. Compró los materiales, etcétera, fue y vino, y ya. Y así quedó. Entonces, cuando dijeron, oye, pues ¿cuánto te gastaste? No, quedó tablas, quedó así. Y no le dieron importancia porque estaban más enfocados en el proyecto. Cuando, no sé qué pasó, uno de ellos descubrió que en verdad lo que él había gastado ni siquiera lo compró, lo adquirió de otra forma. Y en realidad lo equivalente a lo que había comprado no era no justificaban esos $450 adicionales. Se quedó con el dinero. Y obviamente, para nosotros que crecimos en Estados Unidos se nos hacía algo así como que muy malo, ¿no?
Sí,
No es americano, o sea, what the hell. Cuando yo llegué a vivir aquí y por trabajo, etcétera, él pensaba que yo no sabía de que lo que había hecho. Y me dice, oh, yo soy de ahí, de Toluca. Con razón, amigo. Con razón. Parece mentira, pero es verdad. O sea, siempre están así buscando la forma de cómo obtener algún beneficio, por
no,
dejarlo. But it's something that has been happening as a culture for many years, you know? Y te puedo
yeah,
decir cosas peores, ¿no? De que siempre ha habido secuestro, siempre ha habido el tema de, antes se manejaba mucho, antes que llegaran los españoles, la venta de órganos humanos, pero más para comer. Te comenté del pozole, ¿no?
sí, creo que es un plato
De carne humana, con maíz, etcétera. Bueno, hoy
de
en día
carne.
ocurre mucho eso, pero para la venta de órganos en el mercado negro, ¿sí me explico? So there's a lot of things going on. And I mean, yes, you can go downtown and have a good time, whatever, but do not cross your limits because you will find something very bad. Bueno, no sé si escuchaste de las noticias que atraparon al hijo del Chapo Guzmán.
Yeah.
Una noticia mundial, ¿no?
Ujú.
¿Dónde crees que fueron a meterlo? A una penitenciaría que está aquí a 20 minutos donde yo vivo.
Uy,
Ujú.
muy cerca.
Sí.
No creo que los cárteles se lo tomen bien.
Pues se supone que aquí en el centro de México es otro tipo de cártel, ¿no? Pero, I don't know. It's just, Mexico is a beautiful place, just like any other Latin or Hispanic country. But there are things that just make it look bad. If you go to Cancun, you go to Mazatlan, Acapulco, if you reserve your hotels and stuff, you're going to be protected because they take care of those things. But if you cross your limits to go outside of what people are telling you, this is what you need to do, you might find something very, very despicable, very bad. It's not any different if you go to Cuba. If you go to Cuba and you go outside the tourism places, of course you might find something bad, right?
Yeah.
Or if you go to Colombia, trust me. Or Brazil en las favelas. You never know. And but unfortunately, in el Estado de Mexico, you know, the culture is like that, to take advantage of your neighbor. Something that I don't like, of course. I have to live with it because I live at my house here. But I do try to keep away, mark my distance. Yeah,
Oh, but it's so
that's,
sad.
I know it is. Anyways, I hope you understood what I told you. But oh, when the Spanish arrived, well, they had a lot of conflict with the Aztecs because of that. Uno quería tomar ventaja del otro y el otro no se dejaba. You know, so, y al final se combinaron. That's a good combination, right? Good mix. But that's just the way it is. All right, sir. So let's get into the magazine. Are you ready?
Yeah.
So World Mental Health Day. Okay. Are there any campaigns in your country to promote world mental health?
Oh, no realmente. En Bolivia se habla muy poco de eso.
It's important. It's important because, well, we live in a time now that we can speak about these problems. But in the older days, maybe it was something that wasn't taken serious, right? But there's been a lot of research and consciousness about these type of situations. For example, well, in a better way, in a way to help, to promote assistance. Did you know that during World War II, the Nazis, they terminated people that had illnesses? Did you understand me?
The Nazis?
Yeah, they terminated Germans that they were sick. They had mental problems. They didn't have a leg, an arm, or they had respiratory problems or Down syndrome. They terminated those citizens.
Oh.
Did you know that?
No.
Oh,
The first
yes.
time I hear
It
that.
has a name, I forgot. But yeah, they did. They did take, I mean, promoting that it was better to have healthy citizens, right? But they're the Nazis, you know, they had a lot of crazy ideas. But anyways, yeah. World Mental Health Day on October 10 is a day to raise awareness to the effects mental illness has on millions of people's lives across the world and to help educate and inform us all. Okay. But we have some vocabulary. Let's practice this vocabulary. What about the first one, volunteering?
Volunteering, Finland, use drugs, working to help people without being paid. Yeah, working to help people without being paid.
Okay, good. What about stigma?
A strong feeling of disapproval society has about something.
Okay. Treatment.
The state of himself, no. Time spent working compared to time spent doing, feeling very happy, no, feeling nervous. To use drugs, exercise to help someone who is ill. Work-life balance. Things. Time is spent working compared to time spent doing what you enjoy.
Okay.
Ansiedad, feeling nervous or worried about what is happening or what might happen. Depression, feeling very unhappy and without hope. Nutrients, ¿qué falta? Things plants and animals need to live or grow.
Okay. And wellness?
To state of being healthy.
Healthy, yes. Are
Healthy.
any of these words new to you?
Spend working. Hope. No,
No?
no.
Okay. So let's get into the reading, okay? So mental health. I'll start, okay? Around the world, 1 in 4 people will have some kind of mental illness during their lifetime. Around 450 million people are living with a mental health problem right now, making it one of the biggest health issues in the world. Yet, people rarely talk about any mental health problems they have because there is still a lot of a stigma. We talk about this, right?
Yeah.
Like something bad. Besides being an illness, a health problem, it's also a stigma. So that's just not good. Too much bad energy. Let's continue with the reading. Can you help me?
Yeah. World Mental Health Day. World Mental Health Day was first celebrated in 1992. It was created to raise awareness of just how common mental health issues are, fight against stigma, and campaign for better conditions and treatment for people who have a mental health problem. The number of people and organizations involved in celebrating WMH Day has grown and grown, and now many countries such as Australia actually have Mental Health Week, which includes WMH Day on 10 October. Each year, there is a different theme. For example, in 2017, the theme was mental health in the workplace.
Okay. Any questions on vocabulary before we continue?
No.
No? Okay. Okay, let's continue.
Mental health in the workplace. Employers should create an environment which supports good mental health. This also helps to reduce the numbers of days employees take off work. Employers should help employees to achieve a good work-life balance by encouraging them to take breaks and holidays and discouraging them from working at home in the evenings and at weekends. Employees should also feel that they can talk to their managers about any problems they might have, and employers should be supportive.
Okay. What do you think about this issue or this advantage?
It's good for employees. Employees.
Okay. And what about this part? Discouraging them from working at home in the evenings and at the weekends. This is something that we need to discuss in the Americas, especially Mexico, Central and South America, because we still have that philosophy of working after working hours and in the weekends. So that's like exploiting employees, right? I don't know what you think.
Oh yeah. The employees only work in laboral days, digamos días laborables.
Labor days.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. Let's move on to the next part.
Get some exercise. Of course, we also need to look after our mental health. Most people know that exercise is good for your body, But did you also know how good is for your mental health? Regular exercise can really help you deal with anxiety and depression. Spending time in nature can also make people more relaxed and reduce stress. So why not get your exercise by going for a walk in a park or the countryside? Eat well, your diet can also change your mood. If you eat crisps, cakes, chocolate, etc., your blood sugar will rise and fall, making you feel cross and tired. Make sure you are eating enough vegetables and fruits, or you may be missing some nutrients you need to feel good. It's also important to drink enough water. Being thirsty can make it difficult to think clearly. Spend time with family and friends. Everyone needs to some time alone, but it's also good for us to spend time with other people. If you feel lonely, trying volunteering, it's a good way of meeting new people, and you will feel good for helping others. One sub survey showed that 80% of people who volunteered for more than 2 years say they felt less depressed, and as a result, if you do have close friends and family, try talking to them more about how you feel and asking them to support you. Every time someone speaks to someone else about mental illness, it helps to reduce the stigma. What to do on World Mental Health Day? World Mental Health Day encourage us to be more aware of both our own mental health and other people's, as well as looking after yourself. Think about how you could support other people. For example, you could find out more about common issues such as anxiety and depression, so you will understand friends and college problems better. You could also encourage your workplace to start a wellness program that will benefit everyone. They might offer free exercise class or encourage employees to take walks at lunchtime. Companies with wellness programs have found employees take 28% less time off for sickness. Anything you do of WMH Day and just talking to people about it will help us all to understand and support people better.
Okay. So WMH, World Mental Health Day. So it's just the
Double,
abbreviation, okay?
W
MH. Mhm.
MH. WMH.
So what do you think about the article? Do you have any questions about vocabulary?
Program. I think not. I think understand.
Okay.
Oh,
And about the article, World Mental Health, what do you think about the information?
oh, it's so interesting
Mhm.
because talks about topics very interesting. For example, the food or the exercise or spends time or with your family and friends with care your mental health. It's
Mhm.
an important part of life for everybody.
Yes, that's correct. Everything has to play a role in it, right?
Yeah.
You eat too much meat, maybe that can affect your performance and your mentality, right?
Oh, but meat is so delicious.
Yes, And just doing a little stop here. There was in the US, there was a lot of criticism about the percentage of meat eaten by young Americans because the new generations were just growing too big. You know, taller, bigger, stronger. So people were thinking, why? Why is this happening? Aren't things being done to cows, to cattle? They give steroids and all these medications, vitamins. Don't you think all of those substances, they go into humans?
In these animals?
Yeah. I mean, in order to be able to uh, have enough meat for many people, millions of people, they need to grow cows fast.
Yeah, very fast.
How can they do it? Steroids, no? Anabólicos.
Oh yes, the cows so bigger now than
Mhm.
than
And
us.
also the food, different type of food, right?
Yeah,
Maybe genetically altered food, because also any natural food you need to grow faster also. Well, so those let's talk about cows. When young people eat it, eat that meat, don't you think there's an effect on that? Maybe, right?
yeah, it's so important.
I mean, it was something that I was discussed a lot in the US when I was in high school. And going back into this article, I believe is very important that now there's more conscience about it, because mental health is not about people that are born ill or they become mentally unstable because of an accident or stuff. You can become mentally unstable because of a lot of work or exploitation from work, no?
Yeah,
Or for many other situations like school, bullying from school. You can be mentally affected, right? So these day creates awareness in different situations, which is something that I like. Are you familiar with the show, the what's it called? The show that they train dogs
of
to obey
Cesar
their,
Millán.
yes, but I forgot the name of the show. The Dog
Ooh,
Whisperer, maybe. El entrenador de o líder de la
entrenador,
manada,
el
something like
entrenador de
that.
perros. Yeah, it's
Okay.
correct.
I like that show, pero adivina qué. No me gusta el hecho que solamente es muy selectivo César Milán. ¿A qué voy? Si tú te das cuenta en su show y cuando ha mostrado, cuando escoge perritos, él te dice, look at this dog, he is mentally stable. He's not stressed. You make noise and he's asleep. The other one is alert. I don't want that dog. I want this one. So he's making things look easy. Porque tenemos que quitarle la oportunidad de tener una casa a un perrito que es un poquito más,
Exactly.
exacto. Hay otro show que está en Star Plus y también se me olvidó el nombre. Bueno, los veo mucho, pero casi no le pongo atención al nombre, al título. Este entrenador está en Estados Unidos. Oh, y se llama Sand Dog, se llama perro Zen. este, and he specializes with aggressive dogs. Now, that show is different because he gets and treats dogs that are just unstable and very, very wild. And I learned so much from him in order to give the special treatment that my dogs need. Porque yo sí tengo un perro que es muy hiperactivo. Tiene mucha ansiedad. So I don't, what I have noticed is that a lot of people that have these kind of dogs, they don't want them and they just put them to sleep. And why not? I know there's mental health also for animals, but we need to get trained. In order for me to provide the necessary support to other people or animals, I need to train myself first so that I can know what to do. Right?
Yeah.
So just a little thought about how serious I take mental health, not only in humans, but also in animals and pets. But anyways, I believe this is a really good article and it creates awareness with us. Let's go into the true and false. Number one.
People don't often talk about mental health problems because they are not very common. People don't suelen hablar acerca de los problemas mentales porque creen que no son comunes. Yeah, it's true.
It's true. Number two.
Australia doesn't celebrate World Mental Health Day. It's false.
They're pioneers. Three.
The writer thinks that working at home on evenings and weekends is not a good idea. It's true.
It's true. You need to relax. Mirar la repetición de la final en Francia. Pensar por qué tantos penales. No, no te crees. 4.
The writer
You get
believes
stressed
that-
out too. Te vas a estresar más. 4.
The writer believes that exercising outdoors may be better than exercise indoors. Yeah, it's true.
It's true. That's correct. 5.
Volunteering could make you less depressed. Yeah, because you know new people.
That's correct. Well, you need to be socially able, right?
Yeah. Wellness programs at work benefit employees but not employers. No, it's false.
It's false. They benefit all of them. Complete the sentences with words from the box. Okay.
Around the world, 1 in people have some kind of mental illness. Or 1 in 4 people have some kind of mental illness. Mental health in the workplace was the theme of, employers should be mental health issues. Supportive.
Supportive.
Regular exercise can improve anxiety and depression.
Anxiety.
Anxiety and depression. Eating junk food can make you feel cross and tired.
Tired. Cross and tired.
Every time someone speaks about mental illness, it helps to reduce the stigma.
Cuando dices cross and tired, ¿a qué piensas que te hace referencia?
Tired is cansado.
Cross, que no puedes pensar bien. Como no confundido, pero solamente no puedes pensar bien. And it's true. No sé hasta qué punto has cruzado los límites de tu capacidad sin dormir, pero en algún momento yo lo hice. No me preguntes por qué. Like 3 days without sleeping, ya no eres
Oh
tú.
my God.
Empiezas a pensar diferente, ya no eres racional.
Yes, because 3 days is too much.
Como Sherlock Holmes andas, haz de cuenta. Sí, ya estás imaginando cosas. Yeah, I mean, and there's a movie about that. Remember The Fight Club?
The Fight Club?
Ah, El Club de la Pelea con Brad Pitt.
No.
¿No you remember that movie? Y también sale Norton. Creo que se llama Edward Norton. And they talk about having that problem of not sleeping, insomnia. You start to have to imagine things. If you ever have the opportunity to watch that movie, do it. It's a really good movie. The Fight Club, El Club de la Pelea.
The Fight
Okay.
Club. Perfect.
So, in what other ways can you support yourself and other people to have better mental health?
Myself, support others, have better mental health. Oh, that's a really good question. I don't know. If I tried to support or try to improve my mental health by myself, I try to work out more than before, or try to spend more time with my family and friends. Other
Sleep better.
ways. Oh yeah,
Sleep.
sleep better is so important, because if you don't sleep better, you feel the other day so tired. Eat better, eat more vegetables and fruits.
Yes, that's correct. Mhm.
Perfect.
That's correct. Mhm. That's just the way it is. Now, do you have any questions about this article? If not, we can jump into another one.
No, no questions.
No? Okay. So you know what to do now for mental health. Give me just a second. Let me open up the other exercise. Okay, yes, this is what I want. This is a really good article too. Okay. Let me show you. You're going to like it. Well, I hope. Okay, so again, for the magazine section of British Council, International Day of the World's Indigenous Peoples. What are indigenous peoples?
I don't know, but maybe it's same to homeless.
No, 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 no indigentes.
Ah, parecía.
No, no, no. Se refiere más a nativos.
Ah, perfect, perfect. No.
Yes, yeah. Pero sí como que se le da ese sentir, ¿no?
Sí, sí, indigenous.
Because there are some cultures, for example, remember we spoke at some point when we were reviewing Pearson, we talk about the first British pilgrims and Dutch pilgrims that came to live in the US. They were helped by the natives because it was the new colonizers or the new settlers. They didn't know how to hunt. They didn't know how to live in the forest. They didn't know how to get wood. So the natives, they help people to survive, right? Y después los americanos los corrieron y los aislaron, ¿verdad? Pero that's just the way it is. But these indigenous people, these natives, they help the first settlers that came to live in the America in many different ways. So after they were discriminated and also segregated, there were many campaigns to support their rights, to give them that voice that was lost. So not only are we going to talk about people from other parts of the world, but there's also some things that I want to discuss when we start reading this article that are very important. Now, the International Day of the World's Indigenous People on 9 August is the day to promote indigenous people's rights and celebrate indigenous communities, from the Inuit in the Arctic Circle to the Tuareg in the deserts of North America. And before we continue, vocabulary. An ancestor, what's the best definition?
Ancestor, an official person group, no. Cutting down large number of trees. A unit of measuring, a member of your family who live in past. Oh, a member of your family who live in past times.
Mhm. Surroundings.
Surroundings bigger to take control of the things and place around you.
Mhm. The things and places around you. Mhm. Deforestation.
Cutting down a large number of trees.
Okay. Cutting down a large number of trees. Okay. What else?
Dominant. Non bigger, more powerful, or more successful. Dominant. To send people to live. Bigger, more, yeah.
And to conquer.
To take control of foreign land by force.
Foreign land by force. Yes, we talk about the Spanish, right? And the Aztecs.
Exactly.
To colonize.
To send people to live in and rule another country.
And rule another country. Okay. To colonize. Okay. An acre.
A unit for measuring area.
And representation.
An official person of group that speaks and acts for someone else.
Como los virreyes, ¿no?
Yeah, or presidents.
Yes, that's correct. Not a dictator, right? That's different. Okay, so let's read about this International Day of the World's Indigenous Peoples. Since 1994, the United Nations has celebrated the International Day of the World's Indigenous Peoples on 9th August with special events, conferences, and meetings around the world. Okay, can you help me with the reading?
Yeah. Who are the indigenous people of the world? Indigenous people are the first peoples who live in a particular place. The original population, the first create of a community on that land before other people come to live in, conquer, or colonize the area. People self-identify as indigenous. That means that
Ok, Sergio. So, indigenous no significa indigente, significa indígenas.
that's right.
Ok.
Perfect. That means they decide for themselves where they consider themselves to be indigenous. There are more than 350 million indigenous people living in 90 countries. They represent 5,000 different cultures and speak the great majority of the thousands of languages that are spoken around the world today. Indigenous communities often have distinct beliefs, cultures, and customs. Many indigenous people still live in a very close contact with the land, with a respect for an understanding of their national surroundings. What challenges do they face? Indigenous peoples are not dominant groups in the societies they live in. The dominant groups are the people that arrive later. This means that indigenous people have suffered from many problems related to a lack of economic power, social protection, and political representation. Although indigenous people make up less than 5% of the world's total population, they represent 17, no, 15% of the world's poorest people. They are more likely to have limited access to healthcare and education, and members of indigenous community live shorter lives than non-indigenous groups. Their languages are not normally taught in schools, and many of these languages are in danger of disappearing. It is estimated that one indigenous language is lost every 2 weeks. Many indigenous people do not have control over their land. Governments and companies take their land to cut down trees, to farm cows, or for other activities that use this natural resource and damage the environment. These often force indigenous people to leave their land, losing their ancestral homes and their source of health and food. What has been done? Recently in New Zealand, one of the local Maori tribes won a legal battle to protect their river that runs through their land. The new law protects the river as if were a person, a Maori ancestor, or a member of the tribe. Another historic legal battle was won by Waorani Waorani people of Ecuador when they successfully stopped 500,000 acres of Amazonian rainforest from being mined by oil companies, making sure indigenous people have legal rights over their land and resource. It's a matter of human rights. It also brings environmental benefits to the planet. Deforestation rates in Bolivia, Brazil, and Colombia were 2 to 3 times lower in forests officially belonging to indigenous communities. Progress made by indigenous communities is supported by the 27 United Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples. a document that has been agreed on by 148 countries. Importantly, the declaration defends indigenous people's right to make decisions about the use and protection of their ancestral land. It also sets out many rights, including indigenous people rights to education and health care, participation in the political and legal processes, and the protection of indigenous language. What more needs to be done? Despite the progress made, indigenous communities still legally own only a very small percentage of their land globally. The UN document is an important step, but more countries need to commit to it. And the countries that have signed need to do that. The high promises all around the world, indigenous people are fighting for their rights, as well as protesting against deforestation and climate change.
Climate change.
Part of the movement to support them is the celebration of the International Day of the World Indigenous People on 9 August. Why not join?
Okay. Any questions about this article?
Despite
A pesar de.
a pesar de oh, perfect. Una palabrita más había arriba.
Okay, let's see.
Pues, no, más así. Exacto. The first paragraph, this line number 4, their language are not normally taught.
Is the simple past of teach. Taught.
Yeah.
But it's an irregular verb. Taught.
Their language are not. Perfecto.
Enseñado.
En los colegios. Perfecto.
Mm-hmm.
That is all.
Okay. So what do you think about this article?
Oh, it's very interesting because the indigenous people, it's an important way to represent of culture, and if their group doesn't have rights, for example, in places or language, maybe this culture disappearing in a country, and this day it's a good way to remember the I don't know the importancia
the importance
of these people.
Right, that's correct. Mm-hmm. And like I mentioned in the beginning, for example, in the United States, todos los indígenas que primero ayudaron a los que llegaron de Europa, después las nuevas generaciones los despreciaron y los empezaron a empujar al punto que terminaron en reservaciones indias, así les llaman, and many of them into the desert. Nowadays, we see even cartoons and we see Indians living in the desert in the US, pero en realidad ellos nunca fueron del desierto. Los movieron y las nuevas generaciones se adaptaron a ese clima. Lo comento porque mi mentor, que él ya no está con nosotros, él fue el que me enseñó inglés. He was half Mexican and half Indian. Él nació en Arizona. And he will tell me all these things. Even for some tribes, unas tribus de Estados Unidos que fueron como que más maltratadas. Ya hay derechos, ya hay leyes que les permite que se jubilen a los 35 años, Sergio.
Oh,
Dices, bueno, marginaron a nuestras generaciones por muchos años, pero creo que ya empieza a haber recompensas para las nuevas generaciones, ¿no?
siquiera. Después
35,
de todo.
algunos en 40 años, 45, dependiendo. Depending on the state and what tribe. Ujú. Mi mentor calificaba para los 35 años, pero nunca lo hizo. Él trabajó hasta su último día de vida.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Oh, yes. But that's the way it is. That's life, sir. Okay, so we don't have that much time, so let's see. Let's go into the true and false really fast, okay? Number 1.
Indigenous people are the first people, few country, and indigenous people are the first people who live in, yeah, true.
True, okay.
Indigenous people live in a very few countries of the world. No, it's false.
Mhm.
Many indigenous people have problems related to not being the powerful group in society. Yeah, it's true.
Okay.
Some indigenous language have been lost because no one knows how to speak them. Yeah, it's true.
Mhm.
Many indigenous people have lost their homes because governments and companies take their land. It's true.
Mhm.
There is no legal protection for indigenous people in New Zealand or Ecuador. No, it's false.
False.
Because,
Now there is.
yeah, fewer trees are cut down in areas owned by indigenous communities. It's false.
Mhm. Correct.
It's true.
I'm sorry, it's false. Yes. False, false, false.
This is a comment on the rise of indigenous people has completely changed the life of indigenous people all over the world. Yeah, it's true.
It's true. Okay, so we're going to stop here, Sergio. I hope you enjoyed these 2 articles.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, of course, there's many more things to discuss and many more articles to talk about. Okay, but at this moment, I believe we did a pretty good review and good reading. And next time, let's see if we can read 3 articles. Okay,
Perfect.
so we can practice a little bit more. And before you go, can you help me with the daily survey?
Perfect, sir.
Thank you so much, Sergio. Have a great day. Okay.
Perfect. Bye bye. I see you on Monday.
Okay. See you Monday. Bye bye.